Welcome to Badminton Weekly with me, Jasmine Lim. The Korea Masters was one of the 3 remaining HSBC BWF World Tour events for players to gather points to qualify for the World Tour finals. And no one needed it more than Chia and Soh. Before the Super 300 event, the Malaysians were ranked 13th in the race to Hangzhou, but thanks to their title win, they have now moved up 3 places. While the Olympic bronze medalists have yet to qualify, Hans-Christian Wittinghus believes the pair are heading in the right direction.
Yeah, there's no doubt it's a huge confidence boost for them. It's only the second World Tour title after winning the Denmark Open last year, so they are not that accustomed to actually winning the tournaments. They've produced lots and lots of great results, but getting over that finish line and winning the titles has been a struggle for them in the past. So winning this one is going to be a huge confidence boost, and they need to score a lot of points to qualify for the World Tour finals. They're not in the best position, but they actually almost had to win this tournament to still have a chance. So with this win, they actually put themselves in a position where they have everything to fight for in the Kumamoto Masters and also the China Masters. Well, I would say they still have a chance, but the chances are not the greatest. They will actually need to get up to spot number 7 to qualify, because there's one place automatically going to the Olympic champions, Wang and Li from Chinese Taipei. So they need to get up ahead of Man and T, who are the compatriots and currently occupy the 7th position. And what makes it even harder is that in 8th position, you have Liang and Wang from China, who will also score a lot of points in the upcoming 2 tournaments. So they need to go up another few spots. But I would say the one big advantage they have is that they only have 10 results counting right now, which means that all the points they gather in the final 2 tournaments, Chia and Soh, you will just add them to their point total. For Man and T, they already have more than these 14 results that can count maximum in the race, so they will need to better some of their worst results to actually add to that total. So they have a small advantage there, Chia and Soh, but they still need to perform at a very high level, and they most likely have to make it far in both the tournaments to actually qualify in the end.
Kunlavut Vitidsarn was the other Olympic medalist in search of points to qualify for the finals. The Thai shuttler was ranked 10th before the Korea Masters. However, his win against Wang Zhensing on finals day was enough to propel Vitidsarn up to 5th place. With only 2 tournaments remaining to seal qualifications, Hans-Christian Wittinghus is confident of the 23-year-old's participation in Hangzhou.
I think he looked extremely confident, especially in the moments where it really mattered. Every time Kunlavut had bad starts in both the semi-final and also the final, he had some close games, but in the end he showed this confidence where he's constructing the rallies, building up the rallies, and not afraid of actually going for the lines on his attacks. And I think he really showed in the deciding moments that he was trusting his own game. I also think that he was moving quite a bit better than what we have seen from him in some of the events after the Olympics. I still don't think we see him at his absolute best in terms of his movement, but I think it's getting better and better. And this is actually his first title since winning the World Championships in Copenhagen last year. So because of that, I also think that it's just a great tournament for him to play. It was nice for him to finally get a title again, and he showed some good signs, both in terms of his physicality, in terms of movement, but also in the way that he handled the pressure situations when it really mattered. Going into the tournament, then maybe, yes, it was a little bit of a risk, but I also think that he saw that this was a very good opportunity for him to secure a lot of points, and I will say that he's almost safe in terms of qualifying now. He will be up to 5 in the rankings, and he's also benefiting from this fact that he doesn't have 14 counting results yet. So everything he adds of points in the coming 2 weeks will just be added to his point total. Right now, he's almost 6,000 points ahead of Nishimoto and Lu Guangzhou, who are the 2 guys that he will need to keep an eye on. Again, Kunlavut has to be in the top 7 because we have Victor Axelsen outside of top 8, and he will automatically qualify. And with a gap of 6,000 points and Kunlavut just adding points, even if he loses 2 first rounds, he will add extra points. I think he is pretty safe now. So in that regard, I think it was definitely well worth the risk playing Korea Masters, and also just when you win a title, when you win a World Tour title, I think it's always just a great reward, and he's not gonna complain even if he loses first round in Japan just because of a bit of fatigue.
The Korea Masters victory was also Kunlavut Vitidsarn's first tour title this year. The Thai shuttler was struggling at the beginning of the season and had made just one final appearance before the Olympics. So Vitidsarn was surprised when he defeated the world number one in the quarterfinals and went on to win a silver medal on his Olympic debut.
Very difficult because the now have a lot of players in men's single, very good performance for the Olympic game. I think every player must to get the medal, and very difficult because the Olympic game, if you want to get the medal, you must do good performance before the Olympic game. And this year I not get the champion medal, and how to get the medal in the Olympic game. Sometimes my performance is it's very high level, but sometimes it's very low. I cannot control the performance. If drop is a lot drop, if high is too high. And I must to learn with the top player how to control the performance in every tournament before the big tournament, because the big tournament is a lot of pressure more than the World Tour, because the World Tour have many years, right? But Olympic game, if you mistake this time, you're waiting for years. Before I go to the Paris, I don't think to get the medal, because I see the draw is the play with the Chiyushi. She's the number one, right? And this year is a very good performance, anything. And I go like learn and study, and very great experience, because the Olympic game is my first time. I think the quarterfinal when I play with the Chiyushi, I don't have pressure. It's okay. I think first time Olympic game, play with the world number one, I must learn about him and learn about the Olympic game and the big tournament for the future. This time Olympic game, I don't think to get the medal, because the first time is very difficult, and I need to learn with the top player. If I lose, it's okay. I must to know how to lose, and must to go back, practice hard, training hard for the next tournament, step by step. I think my coach is very, very nice and very cool. He teach me anything, and wow, Olympic game is he can control anything about the mindset and the mentality about me. And I'm really happy in the Paris 2024, because the first time and get the medal is amazing.
Dejan Ferdinand Shah and Gloria Emmanuel Wijaya are also in the hunt for a spot at the HSBC BWF World Tour finals. The Indonesians are in a strong position to qualify after reaching their second straight Super 300 final. And BWF commentator Jivan Selvanathan has picked them as one of his standout performances in Korea.
I think when you're talking about Dejan Ferdinand Shah and Gloria Emmanuel Wijaya, they're a different type of mixed doubles partnership. Mainly physically in stature as well. Gloria is 6 foot, but she's got really fast reflexes and really good hands at the net. So she's a very impactful force at the net. Dejan is always hitting the big shots if he gets the service from the back. They've been combining really well over the last few months and this week. That's why they have got their final appearance. It's a repeat of the Macau final against Guo Xinhua and Chen Fanghui. It's going to be a difficult match, but really the point of focus has changed for mixed doubles pairs. It's been a busy year in 2024. They didn't make the Olympics. They've steadily increased in their output throughout the year. They made a lot of quarterfinals in the first half of the year. Now this is their second consecutive final for them, which means they're already guaranteed ranking points. World Tour Finals is the only big target left for this year. There are 2 more qualifying events, the Kumamoto Masters and the China Masters. And yes, it's going to, of course, come down to what the other pairs are doing as well. But they just got to focus on themselves. And right now, you see them when they're walking around the tour hotel and around a very tight unit, and they're now beginning to display that on court as well. They're the most exciting pair to watch right now for certain. And if they keep up this good form, then, you know, there's nothing that can stop them. So we wish them best of luck. The biggest standout has to come from the knockout of the number 1 seed Tomoka Miyazaki by Han Chansi. Han Chansi has only played 4 tournaments this year, and this is only her second tournament out of China. knocks out the #1 seed at the Super 300 and is in the final. So, is this another big Chinese singles player? He Bingjia, of course, retired after the Olympics, so there is a space in the national roster for another one, but she was absolutely unstoppable.
Han Tianxi's dream run in the women's singles draw came to an end in the final, losing to Putri Kusuma Wardani in straight games. The Indonesian, who reached 3 finals in 6 tournaments played, collected her first title of the year after failing in her previous 2 attempts in Taipei and Hong Kong. Kirsty Gilmer is excited by what the 22-year-old brings to the court.
I think it'll be very important for her just in the consistency that she's built in the last half year. I think the Korean Masters, we really saw it was kind of the battle of the youngsters, and it's paid off for Wardani. She's only 22 and she's not new to the scene, but she doesn't have that real establishment. But saying that, in the last few months, she's had some big wins over some established names, Tai Tzu-Ying, Aya Hori in the last few tournaments. So really building that consistency, and 3rd time lucky in the 3rd final for her, 2 previous losses, and she's managed to get this win. So I think this could be the start of some fairly big things for Wardani. All players work hard and everything in training, behind the scenes, but I think with Wardani, she's also a very natural player. Her movement around the court doesn't seem so manufactured and textbook. It's very kind of smooth and fluent, which is quite typical of the Indonesian style. I think that helps her stay calm in the kind of main passages of play. She can move the shuttle around smoothly and with good pace, but then she's also good at recognising those attacking opportunities, and she really takes them and executes them very well. I'd say the main way that she gets to those attacking opportunities is her net control. Indonesians are just really skillful around the net. Having played a lot of Indonesian players over the years, I can definitely confirm that. So I think she really utilises her fluency at the net to set up those attacking opportunities. And I think that smoothness that she has in her movement and her racket also helps her really problem solve difficult situations. She can really wiggle out of some tough spots because she's just so kind of calm under good pressure. So we've seen her just build on that and now get this pretty solid win at the Korean Masters. In order to keep going and improve after Korean Masters, she'll be working on, refining those small techniques and everything. But I really hope that, just looking back at my career when I was 22, the thing that I probably needed the most at that point was just good people around me, and especially, I can't speak to what it is like to be Indonesian, but the pressure that's on the Indonesian players, especially being young and getting some success, that pressure is really going to start to build in the expectation. So I would really hope that she has some good psychologists around her for the on-court moments and the off-court parts of life. But I really hope her support system is really good to kind of take her through this next part, because like I say, she's kind of going from being underdog, lesser known player to really establishing a name for herself, and there is a shift, there's a change when that happens. So I really hope she can just continue on a smooth upward trajectory and continue these wins. But I also hope there's people there to kind of coach her through the dips. There's highs and lows to every career and peaks and troughs. So I really hope she's taking care of her brain as well as her body and her physical skills.
That's it from us. The HSBC BWF World Tour is heading to Kumamoto this week for the final Super 500 of the season, and all eyes will be on Aya Ohori. The Japanese shuttler has announced her retirement from professional badminton at the end of the year, and the Kumamoto Masters will be her last home tournament. So make sure to join us again next week for that and other top stories from Japan. In the meantime, you can stay up to date with the latest news by downloading our BWF app, Badminton for You. And as always, guys, do let us know your thoughts, comments, and questions on our Facebook and YouTube pages. See you soon!